Hey everybody, it's Dr. T. Let's talk about having difficult conversations around race. I have often thought about doing a video or a series of videos on this topic because I hear so many people either struggle to have these conversations or avoid having these conversations, which sometimes can negatively affect a relationship. And so let's begin this process. First of all, it's not going to be 3 or 5 minutes and you're going to be miraculously able to have race dialogue. However, the thing that brought this up for me this week was the events around whatever happened on The Bachelor. I will say I don't watch the show, not a member of Bachelor Nation, don't really know. But on Good Morning America, I saw Chris Harrison's apology, and it struck me as typical, where the offending comments or the offending behavior is expected to be ignored. In some ways, it's the original gaslighting, right? Where the person who did this thing that now they understand because of backlash is offensive says, you know my heart, you know that isn't me, you know that's not who I am, you know that I'm better than that, so you should just forgive and ignore, and I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to do the work, which I never know what the work is, but I'm going to do the work and I'm going to prove to you that I am not that person. That's not an apology. I'm sorry. You can send this to Chris Harrison. You can send this to Good Morning America. As a matter of fact, please do. That's not an apology. And then I thought, well, this is what Black people want to hear. And then I thought, well, that's part of the problem. I cannot speak for all Black people. I am Tanya Royster, MD, psychiatrist, who is a Black woman. Certainly, I have a vast experience personally and professionally with all types of Black people. And still, I cannot speak for Black people. So I am going to speak as myself with all the knowledge and information that I have about what I would like to hear in an apology about a racially insensitive moment in time from a person that I was having a conversation with. And I think that many people, including celebrities, if they tried to have this kind of apology, the world would start to move forward in our race dialogue and in our race conversations. Because the current type of apology tries to negate the behavior as atypical, as not consistent with who that person is or who we are as a country. If you remember our conversation from a couple of weeks ago, I think I've referenced it a couple of times now, about being able to tolerate and manage both good and bad, both positive and negative coexisting. This is what is critical for us to be able to have difficult conversations around race. So what a true apology, in my perspective, looks like would be something that said, and I'll just use something that would say, yes, I said that. In that moment, that is what I believed. I have now learned, because I hear you, because I see the pain I caused, I now understand that a part of me that I may not have even known existed can come out in ways that affects the people I care about. And that means you, or, my fans or whoever. And I want to learn from this moment. I want to say that I am imperfect and I make mistakes, and I have been raised and born and lived in a racist society of America that is racist institutions, racist policies, and I did not realize that that had seeped into my conscious and unconscious and caused me to say what I said, defend what I defended, do what I did in the past, present, or whichever the circumstance is. And I'm sorry that I didn't know that I was able to say or do something that was so offensive to so many people. That is more consistent with what an apology would feel like. That opens the door to dialogue. That says, I take accountability for what I said. I know now in a way that I didn't know then that I may believe things and I may act in ways that are even unconscious sometimes, sometimes conscious. Don't get me wrong, plenty of people that behave in conscious ways, but even unconscious sometimes because of the influences that have happened to me throughout my life living in America. One of the worst things that I think we hear politicians, and especially politicians, but lots of people say is, this is not who America is. Well, by golly, this is exactly who America is. America was founded on racist, capitalist principles, and we have tried to do things and make policies to kind of gloss over and fix on a very surface, superficial level, but we have never really undone the basis of the racist infrastructure that this country was founded on. So there's absolutely no way that a person could grow up in that structure, in that system, benefit from that structure and benefit from that system for their whole lives and not have it be a part of their psyche. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong is pretending like it doesn't exist, and cause you to behave in certain ways or think certain ways or just accept certain things to be true. And then when you're confronted with that, when you're confronted with the reality that, oh my, I have fallen prey to things that I didn't realize, to deny that that's who you are. That is more painful than actually just admitting and say, I goofed, right? This is a huge blunder that I would like to fix. And then engage in the dialogue. What other things can I do? How can I be active in this conversation? I think one of the final things, and I will leave you with this, is that we forget. We talk about racism and we talk about, oh, I got to be careful with the fingers there. So we talk about racism on one end of the spectrum and anti-racism on the other end of the spectrum. But the reality is, in the middle is neutrality. And sometimes being race neutral can be harmful as well, because you ignore all of the racist undertones that run through our society and the current they're in. And so some people believe that you're either anti-racist and everything less than that is racist. I don't think I would go that far, but I think that we have to have an awareness that along that spectrum, people have the capacity to do harm even when they don't mean to. And denying that that's who they are and that they're capable of that is wrong, and it hurts. And so to those who plan to apologize in the future, because you will make mistakes. We are all human. You have been raised in this society that has given advantage and privilege and a sense of normalcy so that you cannot see things in the way that a person of color can see them. And in that inability to see, you will make mistakes. I guarantee it. But face them, own them, apologize correctly for them. Don't deny them. And you will begin to build bridges across the divide. And you will be a part of the solution instead of continuing to be part of the problem. I know this may have been a challenging conversation to hear and to talk about, but we've got to start doing it more often. Until next time, I'm Dr. T. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this video if you think this can be helpful in moving the race dialogue along in your life. I'm Dr. T. Be well.